On today's DNVR Broncos podcast, we are talking about the big addition the Broncos could potentially get this weekend and how much that could help this Broncos team. Plus, we're breaking down the Giants with some spicy comments from Jonathan Cooper pointed at the Giants quarterback Jaxson Dart. We're getting a little emotional talking about Demaryius Thomas and the Super Bowl 50 reunion. Plus, our final picks for Broncos Giants. It all starts now. Dre is back. Yeah, I'm not talking about Andre Simone. I'm talking about Dre Greenlaw is back for the Denver Broncos. We're going to break down that and what it means on the DNVR Broncos podcast, live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your local Front Range Toyota stores. And of course, we are presented by Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Place a $5 bet after depositing $10, and boom, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets. It's a terrific Thursday on the show and some big time news for the Broncos. And before we dive in, I got to ask you, Henry, how you doing?
Still not good. It's a real shame. The sickness is going away.
Yeah, you sound a little better.
Right, I do. I'm
not
talking
100%.
like a human. But I wish I was allowed to say what else is going on. But Lexi says I'm not allowed to tell anybody. But no, it was another miserable day yesterday.
Man, what you're going through, I wouldn't wish on my.
No,
and we can kind of joke about it. It's not like a family matter or anything.
Right. You can tell by my tone.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish this on anyone.
No, it's really, really awful, and it really kills me that I can't just tell everybody exactly what's happening.
Yeah, you're smiling through the deep, deep pain.
Yeah, Jose says he is sick.
Oh, no.
Is he the one who got me sick?
Jose, did you get
a new top
Henry
suspect
sick through the Toyota chat? I don't think the Toyota chat has that power. I think you can do pretty much everything else.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right.
Get you sick. But the Toyota chat maybe can make Henry feel better. So let's guess in the Toyota chat what's going on with Henry.
Throw him out there.
That'll make him really fun.
I love the guesses so far.
Yeah. These are great.
Yeah.
And maybe someone will hit it on the head. And
the thing is, I don't want to go through and say it's not that. It's not that, because then you skip the one.
And then you skip one. Right. Yeah, exactly.
But I love that you're guessing an STD or that you're guessing.
Wow. I don't know if we'd be having fun over that one, Dusty.
Right. Depends on the. No, we wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any fun ones of those. No.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone that's tuning in with us today. As you know, this is our final show of the week, which means we are going to be giving our game picks for Broncos Giants. We're going to be going around the AFC West making our picks at the end of the show, Henry. I think we're going to save this for the end because it is just, it's what the Broncos are all about. The Super Bowl 50 reunion, got some cool comments on that, but even cooler story from Cortland Sutton talking about Demaryius Thomas. He tells such a cool story. So we'll hit that at the end to send us into the weekend on a feel-good note. Right. We're going to be talking about some spicy comments from Jonathan Cooper talking about Jaxson Dart. And I'm curious if you think this is good for the Broncos or good for the Giants with these comments, because they have kind of gone viral. But let's start with the big addition. Dre Greenlaw, Henry, is back at Broncos practice. He was designated to return off injured reserve yesterday. He practiced. He was a limited participant, went through warm-ups, went through individual drills, and then that's all we got to see. But this is a big step. It's not like he just practiced and was out there or just dressed and was out there. He did a lot of things at practice. I was very encouraged what I saw. He was moving around well. And Henry, what this means is he's not back on the 53-man roster yet, but he could be as early as Saturday. That's when the Broncos will make this move, is Saturday, and if they make that move on Saturday, that means he will be playing in the game on Sunday. However, it does not guarantee that's going to be the case. Dre, by making this move, the Broncos must either activate him to the 53-man roster in a 21-day window or put him back on season-ending IR for the rest of the year, and he's done. No signs point to the season-ending IR, obviously, unless something pops up, but no one's going to forecast that. So Dre's either going to be back this Sunday for the Giants, next Sunday for the Cowboys, or the following Sunday for the Texans. How you feeling about it?
It'll be fun if he's back. It'll definitely be fun if he's back. I'm curious to see what it looks like. I'm curious to see if there's if it takes time for him to kind of fit in. The defense right now it's playing really well, obviously, incredibly well. Making changes to that, even if they're changes that should make you better, scares me a little bit. But I do think having him back is obviously great. You want to start working him back in, and hopefully on Sunday he's on the field.
Yeah. So how would you handle this if you are Sean Payton? Because clearly he is healthy enough to be practicing right now. So it's not like he's not able to do everything, or they wouldn't bring him back if he wasn't good. Yep. Remember, that's the reason that the Broncos initially put him on injured reserve, because he did not start the season on injured reserve. In fact, it looked like he was going to play week 1, and then something weird happened. Must have happened, I should say, because I don't know that for sure. In that first practice leading up to the first game against the Titans, because he practiced, and then he did not practice after that. Broncos said, we're going to keep you on the 53-man roster for 2 weeks, I think. And then they said, you know what? Dre keeps trying to practice, and then a setback happens. He tries to practice, a setback happens. So they said, we're essentially going to allow Dre, or force Dre to just stay out of his own way in terms of, if you're on IR, you can't practice at all. So the Broncos put him on IR just to get fully better. The fact that he's practicing tells me that the Broncos and Dre think that he is fully better right now. So, Henry, I want to ask you, because the Toyota chat, besides guessing all of your ailments, and maybe I shouldn't even say ailments because I don't even think it's an ailment. They're saying,
there's a hint.
They're saying, do not rush him back. And boy, I couldn't agree any more on that. But I don't think that's how the Broncos are going to operate.
Right. And what if this is not rushing him back?
Exactly.
What if rushing him back meant they didn't even put him on IR, played him 3 weeks ago?
That's exactly.
And that's
it.
the thing, is they just have so much more information than us. And Sean Payton really seems to like it that way. He's not sharing the information.
How about we hear from Sean Payton? So he was asked about Dre being back. Well, actually, we have this whole exchange. But how it starts is someone asking Sean about Dre just simply practicing. And then there's a couple of follow-ups, one by me, by the way. And so if you don't like me, you'll enjoy this interaction with me and Sean yesterday, and a couple of other reporters as well. So, Sean, how about Dre being back?
How did Dre Greenlaw look today, and what are your thoughts on his status moving forward?
Yeah, he practiced today. It was good.
Coach, when Dre Greenlaw does play, what does he bring to this defense?
These are the hypotheticals, right? I love them. No, I can't say anything about injury. He practiced today. He practiced today. He's been working out, he's been rehabbing, and today was a good day.
So, Sean, hypothetically, if Dre Greenlaw plays this week against the New York Giants, how you feel about it? I actually have an issue with Sean kind of coming at me like that.
Yeah.
It should not be a hypothetical about what Dre Greenlaw brings to this defense.
Right.
I didn't say this Sunday.
Right.
It should not be a hypothetical of just what he brings to this defense.
Right.
But
because in other ways, the question
is
is
how Sean is.
Okay, so you're not giving us any real information.
Correct.
We all have to go home and write the story about Dre Greenlaw.
Exactly.
Just give me something about Dre Greenlaw.
Yes.
Like what's up? Something.
That's exactly it. And so clearly Sean doesn't want to give anything about any injuries. But this is, to be fair to Sean, this is how he's been since week 1 started. He says, I don't talk about injuries. Not going to happen. He did give us a little tidbit. He's been rehabbing. I think 100% of us could have assumed that.
Right.
He looked good. So then, as investigative reporters as we are, we talked to some other people throughout the rest of the day and got more intel than Sean was willing to give. Pat Surtain on Dre Greenlaw practicing yesterday, he said, quote, Dre looked good. He looked good out there. Obviously, his first day back out there and on the field in a minute. It seems like he's very sharp on everything, on the game plan. Very excited for him. You could see that initially and be like, he took the company line. That's good. He looked good out there. He said he looks good on the game plan, Henry.
Right.
On the game plan.
Right.
I think he's playing this weekend.
I think so too. I do think he'll probably be a limited role. So you have Alex. Wow, how am I forgetting his name? Alex is your Mike linebacker
Because he hit you and knocked it out of
right.
Yeah.
He would love that.
Yeah.
Alex is your Mike linebacker. Justin's your weak side linebacker. Dre Greenlaw is a weak side linebacker. So those are the two guys who play the same position. And how you split those reps, to me, is kind of the big question. Again, when you go into your linebacker formations, that's more than likely going to be Alex because, again, it's your Mike linebacker. And in this situation in particular, when you're probably not trying to find extra snaps for Dre, you're not going to be tweaking that. So it's what you do about those two, and I just don't know what the answer is because, first of all, you just rarely see linebacker rotations. Like, that's not really a thing where it's not like running back. It's like you give them a series. More likely is you give them a package. Say, like, okay, so in your 3-4 defense, Dre. In the nickel defense, Justin. It's like, does that even make sense? Would you want them flipped? I don't know. I don't know which situations you'd want one or the other. Like, Justin is at his best when he blitzes.
Yeah. He's
pretty rangy in coverage. Greenlaw probably gives you a little bit more as like a read and react run stuffer.
Yeah.
But again, if you're putting him in those situations, a lot of the time, like, you could be calling that, or from that package, you could be calling the blitz. So it's kind of a challenge. And who knows? Maybe they do say, like, Justin, Dre's back. Sorry. Get out of here.
Yeah, that very well may happen. But Henry, I agree with you that he's going to play this week. And really something that you said earlier that just really makes me think it, along with the comments from Pat, along with him practicing yesterday, he wouldn't be on the practice field right now if he wasn't full go. And the NFL, they don't really baby you isn't the right. No, it is. That they don't baby you in the NFL.
Yep.
If you're healthy, you play. If you are not healthy to play, you do not play.
Yep.
Unless there's a setback, I'm touching wood big time right here. Unless there's a setback, Dre Greenlaw is going to play, and I do think you're right. Vance could play him 100% of the snaps. Vance could also say, Justin's a weapon at blitzing. He leads the NFL in inside linebacker sacks at 3.5 right now. He's, second or third on the Broncos in sacks, which is actually, third or fourth on the Broncos in sacks with 3.5, which is actually crazy impressive. And the Broncos just have another weapon there. So eventually, Dre Greenlaw probably will be getting 90% of the snaps.
Yep.
May not be this week, but I do fully expect Dre Greenlaw to be back this week. And Henry, to round out this conversation, how important is Dre Greenlaw for the Broncos to beat the Giants this week?
You're going to be favored either way.
Yep. Right now, over at Bet365, 7.5 point favorites.
7.5 is a lot.
That scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, I just... we'll get there later. I think he certainly helps. Actually, no. I take that back. He probably helps.
Whoa, not even certainly?
Well, I mean, he's played, 2 football games in the past?
Since the February of 2024, right?
Right. So all the rest of 2024, he played 2 at the end, and then all the way
That's October of 2025.
There could be a little rust. Like, I think there's obvious
Fair point.
that rust is going to come when it comes, whenever you put him on the field. So get it knocked off as soon as you can. That's what I said. Like, it's tough for me to look at what the defense did last week and say, like, you know what? Let's make a change. Although, again, you have to. It's Dre Greenlaw.
That is fair.
I don't think him playing or not really changes anything at all.
Okay.
On the average.
Okay, so Jonathan Cooper said it's, quote, awesome to get Dre Greenlaw back, and went on and said, quote, obviously we know the type of player Dre Greenlaw is. We watched the film. You add that type of dynamic to this defense with him being right, it's just going to take us to another level. I'm excited for him to return, excited for him to get the runs. He's a great teammate since he's been here. Excited to see him play, end quote. I agree with Coop. I do think he takes his defense to another level, and especially against the Giants. Daniel Sepp says Dre Greenlaw is not very important to beat New York because of the offense. I would assume that the Giants' offense, the Giants thrive on running the football with a demon at running back in Cam Skattebo, and Jaxson Dart, who is, like I said yesterday, the third quarterback in NFL history to have 50-plus rushing yards in his first 3 games, joining Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson. Pretty special guys right there. So I do think that Dre Greenlaw is important. Now, this is not saying anything negative about Justin Strnad. You're paying Dre Greenlaw 3 years, $30 million contract because you think he's special. And, man, if you shut down the Giants' run defense, you are going to win. Because Jaxson Dart, while I am a fan of his in terms of I think he's a good player or will be a good player, if you allow Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, Zach Allen, Justin Strnad, John Franklin Myers to just pin their ears back and tee off on Jaxson because he can't run the ball and Cam can't run the ball, game over. I mean, 7 sacks incoming. That's how the Broncos cover the 7.5-point spread. That's the formula right there. Henry, you're giving me a funny look.
I still like... The Broncos shut down the Jets run game last week.
Certainly did.
Shut down the passing game too.
Well,
and then what happened? Like,
yeah, I mean,
to me, I'm not scared of the Giants putting up a big number.
Yeah.
I just don't see a world in which I think it's going to be really tough for them to get to 20. It might be really tough for them to get to 13.
Yeah.
Broncos offense scares me though.
That's fair.
And it's sink it in more than it has all year that like I don't know. After watching last week that you just bounce back. And I think they're capable of playing a really good game. But even if you make this ugly and the Giants offense looks terrible, throw in a couple turnovers and a bunch of 3-and-outs, and next thing you know, it's a game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, and we've seen the Giants be in those type of games with no turnovers, and then we've also seen them be in games where they have 5 turnovers. Let's dive into the Giants and Jaxson Dart. Because Jonathan Cooper, man, he had some fascinating comments. You can call him spicy. You could call him shots. You can call him interesting. You can call him whatever you want. They were good comments. So let's get to that after I give a shout out to our friends over at Game Time, where if you want to see the Broncos back in town this weekend, you got to check out our friends over at Game Time. It's just the cleanest experience that you're going to have in every single way. Their app and their interface is so user-friendly, and it shows you exactly not just where your seats are, but what your seats are, what your view is going to look like from your seats. So you're not surprised by anything when you get to your seats, and you're thrilled once you get to your seats. Plus, you're not going to be surprised by any surprise fees. They've got that all-in pricing as well, so you know exactly how much you're going to pay with everything combined right there. You get to take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the app. Use the code DNVR after creating an account. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase with terms apply. Create an account. Use the code DNVR for $20 off over at Game Time, especially if you're going to Broncos Giants. It's called Game Time because the closer you get to Game Time, the better the prices are on tickets. So if you're still not sure, go check Game Time out and use that code DNVR. Tap ticket. Go download the Game Time app today.
And also download the Bet365 app. Because there's always sports. Today, Thursday Night Football, of course. That means there's a $10 safety net bet. There's also the Thursday night touchdown offer where you can place qualifying parlay bets totaling $20 or more. You get bonus bets for every touchdown scored. There are terms and conditions to that, of course. But yeah, I'm struggling with this one. It's Bengals at Steelers, I believe. I think it's a 5.5-point spread. Steelers favored.
With Flacco, yeah, man, that could go any which way.
I know. For the first time all year, the Steelers pushed the ball down the field a tiny bit, but that was like not even close to league average. Like it just dink and dunk. They can't run the ball.
Yeah, and the Steelers are big time frauds.
I kind of agree, but also the Bengals aren't any good either, right?
No, they're not.
But the Bengals are fired up because they think like, hey, we win this one, we're 2-3.
Yeah.
Right? Or they would be 3-3.
They'd be 3-3 and their season's right back.
Right. So I'm really torn on this one. If you've got a better idea, make sure you go over to Bet365. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers can now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5. Get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be placed on spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
You know what? Because I do not like, and shout out to Bet365 for being our presenting sponsor, because I do not like Aaron Rodgers, and I will never cheer for him in a single game unless it Broncos desperately need it.
Right.
I will always be rooting against him. So give me +5.5 for the Bengals in that one.
Yeah.
And also, if the Bengals win, which is probably what, +250, +200 over there. If the Bengals straight up win, and then the Chargers beat the Colts, which we probably don't want, and the Broncos win, Broncos have the best record in the AFC. Like tied with like a couple of other teams.
That would be
still,
nice.
The best record in the AFC,
right?
Which is just insane.
Yeah.
What's also actually, this isn't insane at all. I want to give a shout out to the Common Spirit Injury Report, where we're going to talk and tell you about all of the injuries that the Broncos have going on right now. Yesterday, Henry, we know that Dre Greenlaw was a limited participant in practice. We mentioned Jonathan Cooper, and we're going to continue to talk about Jonathan Cooper. He was a limited participant in practice. The day he won AFC Defensive Player of the Week with a quad. Quads are popping up everywhere with these linebackers. Coop did practice. After practice, he gave no indication that he wasn't going to play, so I think that he's going to be okay. Alex Singleton and Nick Bonito, they're both full, but they're just both dealing with the injuries that they've had for a long time. Nick Bonito, that wrist, he's had it for like a month now, and Alex Singleton, the thumb, he's had it for 2 or 3 months now. Both those guys are full. And then Jonah Ellis did not practice again with that shoulder. I think you can likely count on him not playing in the game this weekend, and that's just another opportunity for Q Robinson. Jonah Ellis is a hell of a player, but as you said yesterday, Broncos haven't had 9 sacks with Jonah Ellis playing.
Right, he was holding them back.
Yeah, I'll let you say that. So shout out to Common Spirit Injury Report right there. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. And we're going to be right down there at Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit, right after this show. And we were down there yesterday, and Henry, Jonathan Cooper, was accepting his trophy-less AFC Defensive Player of the Week award.
Right.
Talking to the media and taking a shot. Tell me, we'll play this clip and tell me what the best is. He taking a shot? What's going on here with the comment from Jonathan Cooper? He was simply asked, "So what do you think of Jaxson Dart as a quarterback?" And here's what he said. Oh, you don't have that clip? Oh no, this is the best clip of them all. I think it was the second. I sent it in a second message. Dion, if you're able to pull it up in a couple of minutes, we can hit that in just a second. Let me know if you need me to resend it, though.
And I'd add on top of that last night, I just happened to be standing by an elevator that I knew pretty well. But I was standing there, and
that's gonna give no one any hints.
I know, that's why I said it. But the apartment next to the elevator, I heard like this voice. I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And it was talking. I was like, wait, that's Nick Bonito. That's Nick Bonito's voice. And I think it was probably coming out of the TV. Unfortunately, I don't think Nick Bonito was actually in there.
I thought you lived in Nick Bonito's apartment complex.
No. If not, never mind. But he was saying,
might show up on the injury report today.
Right. But then he was saying, we need to go be physical. Like, that's what we need to do, is just go be physical and show them that, like, this is what physical football looks like.
Yep.
And we'll expand on the conversation, I'm sure, in a second. But, I mean, that's what the Giants are all about, is they're out there trying to bully people at the line of scrimmage, to fight for extra yards, defensively to not give up extra yards, and that's their formula for winning games. Like, get that extra little push because of the excitement, because of the energy. And it's working for them. Like, they kind of caught magic in the bottle with that. But if you're the Broncos, you have to say, hey, that's what you do. Guess what? Not only are we physical, we're also good at football. And that's just another level.
100%, Henry. You nailed it right on the head. And if you look at the Broncos' 2 losses this year, we know they were last-second field goals.
Yep.
But what the opposing team did was they dominated the running game, at least on their offense to the Broncos defense. And the Broncos loss against the Colts, we know Jonathan Taylor went off, had over 200 yards from scrimmage, but 167 of his yards came on the ground. The following week against the Chargers, with Najee Harris popping his Achilles mid-game, they still had 106 rushing yards. And that's different than every other game the Broncos have won. In week 1 against the Titans had 71 rushing yards. In the past 3 games, 53 rushing yards, 45 rushing yards, 92 rushing yards. So that's a big difference. That you could point to as the magic number for how the Broncos win is just stop the run. Don't let the run go crazy. Hold them under 100 yards rushing, and you win. And Henry, that holds even more true for this game because I could say something crazy right now. I can make like a crazy proposition. I would be shocked. We'll just keep it like that. If the Broncos lose this, the Broncos lose to the Giants, and it's not because the Giants run the ball all over them. Like if Jaxson Dart sits in the pocket, doesn't get sacked, doesn't get pressured, and is able to slice up the Broncos secondary and win, I'll do whatever because that's simply not going to happen. Now, this is not a guaranteed win game. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if the Broncos shut down the running game, the Broncos, someone says crazy to guarantee that. I'm not guaranteeing this win. I would be shocked if the Giants beat the Broncos without running the ball like crazy. And honestly, that's what the Giants like to do. They like to hand it to Cam Skattebo 30 times. Doesn't matter if he's running for 2.5 yards per carry or 6 yards per carry. They love to do that. Jaxson Dart can also run, like I mentioned earlier in the show. And it's not that Jaxson Dart can't throw, but they cannot rely on that, especially against this Broncos team. Yeah,
and like I said, I think that all makes a lot of sense, other than the fact that they gave up 82 yards last week, and I with 30 seconds left, I was sitting there thinking like, oh, they're about to lose to the Jets.
Yep. And
everyone was. Other than the idea that Broncos offense has not been spectacular, and beyond that has kind of handed points to our team and special teams too. They got JT Gray, man, they're good. Difference maker, Sean Payton called him. I'll throw out there, if the Giants can't run the football, and this isn't one of the 10 ugliest games of this entire NFL season, then I would be shocked if the Giants win. Good point. And a key to the Giants' 2 wins since Jaxson Dart's been the quarterback is playing turnover-free football, 0 turnovers in both of their wins, and 4 takeaways from the opposing team. That was against the Chargers and the Eagles, and that's why no one is... no one's guaranteeing this win, and even the 7.5 points, that scares me, just like it scares you. We'll get to our picks in just a second because they can play with good teams. Their one loss was against the Saints, Henry. They ran for 136 yards on the ground, which is their fewest since Jaxson Dart's been the quarterback, but still a lot. But they had 5 turnovers. So on the flip side, as much as I really don't like the 7.5, this also could be a Broncos blowout. If you make a rookie quarterback look like a rookie quarterback and you stop their ground game, this could be 7-sack performance from the Broncos with 3 interceptions, including the Broncos' first defensive score of the season. It could be that game as well because they have shown that can be their game just 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And, I mean, again, they lost to the Saints. Bills, who, Bills not a great football team. The Bills at this point, right? I mean, great being like the best. Wow. They lost to the Pats this week. Just 2 weeks ago, I was thinking incredible, but then when you lose a couple games, then you start looking back at the wins, and you're like, I don't know. So they lose this week to the Falcons, not even all that competitive in the game. Lose the week before to the Patriots. The week before that, they beat the Saints, but the Saints had a lead in the fourth quarter. Wow. And you're just like, well, wait a second, that's half the season right there. Have I just been wrong about the Bills? Wow.
It varies. Like there's the route at the end is kind of like a seam, almost a double move. And then look, the 3rd and long flea flicker.
That was Sean, in case you were confused. Or that was us. If just 3 games go the right way for the Broncos are the number 1 team in the AFC, which is insane based off the conversations that not just us, everyone was having 3 weeks ago after 2 last-second field goal losses.
Sometimes I see a comment that just makes me like rethink everything. And when I see Henry, you're right, the Bills are overrated. I want to see them so bad in the playoffs. Then I think back to what I said. And I'm like, well, do I really think that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's 2 teams that I would really prefer not to play in the playoffs as of right now. It's the Bills and it's the Chiefs, just because they're the Chiefs in the playoffs. Any other team, give me them. The division leaders right now, Henry, the Steelers. If the Broncos go into Pittsburgh, how are you feeling right now?
Toss up.
A toss up? Okay, I'll take that. And I'd take the Broncos to 55% odds to win. The Patriots are a division leader right now.
Yeah.
Way better than having to go into Buffalo, in my opinion.
Drake May looks insane.
Yeah, he does look good.
Because remember, when he beat the Bills, he beat them by Josh Allening Josh Allen.
That's crazy.
Like the throws on his way to the ground, where it's like, wait, no way. That's impossible. And that is what scares me. I think going back to the Steelers, all it's going to take is like one loss for the Steelers for me to be like, okay, there we go. Like we're reset now.
Just
they
remember
aren't
Aaron
actually
Rodgers.
this good.
That's all you have to remember.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers.
Has more Super Bowls than Bo Nix, unfortunately.
He's also
pretty
played
close,
like
though.
500 years more than Bo Nix, too.
That's true.
The other division leader right now, the Colts. How would you feel about the Broncos going into Indianapolis?
Tough to, oh no. They say it's tough to beat a team 3 times, and unfortunately, the Colts won't beat them once.
This is I'm essentially asking you, how much do you trust Daniel Jones for an entire season in the playoffs?
Honestly, you give me all those teams, Colts, Steelers, Chargers. I feel like I'm giving the Chiefs a gift almost being in there at this point, just because they haven't even been good. Broncos right there. Like, they're all kind of the same team.
Yeah.
I'm like,
throw the
so like,
Chargers
give
right
me,
in there.
I'll say like, okay, you get home field advantage. Congrats. That'll help. Patriots, again, also in that group. Give them a tick in their direction if they're at home. But other than that, like, all toss-ups. There are no good teams. There are no good football teams.
No great elite.
Again, like, I don't even think they're that good. Like,
Wow.
I don't think the Steelers are that good. I don't think the Colts are that good. The Broncos, I love, but also we were all at that game on Sunday. Like, we don't walk away from that saying like, oh, there we go. That's
2
a good team.
last-second field goals away from being 6-0.
Right. And they were 6 yards away from another
That's true.
field goal that we're complaining about.
That's very fair.
Still waiting for a good team.
Let's hear, Dion, do we have the clip? Okay, let's wait a second. And you guys are going to want to stay around for this clip because it's awesome. It's not something I thought Jonathan Cooper would ever say, but before we do that, I got to give a shout out to our friends over at Coors Light, where I'm looking at the Coors Light on our set right now. And man, a cold Coors Light would make me feeling so good right now, because Coors Light is all about chilling. That's whether you're chilling after a hot day. I think it's like in the 70s today, tomorrow as well. Whether it's after you want to chill after work, you want to chill with your friends, Coors Light is all about chilling, especially on game days. If you're going to be watching the Broncos this weekend, which all of you are, got to have a Coors Light to chill with the game. And Coors Light's all about chilling because it's brewed chilled, it's bottled chilled, and it is served chilled as well. So much so that the mountains on the cans and bottles turn blue when it's the perfect temperature. So get yourself a Coors Light by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR, where you can get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill by grabbing a Coors Light. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Also, we love Common Spirit Health. They're more than just hospitals and clinics. They're a team of passionate and expert caregivers, and they're dedicated to your well-being, woven into the very fabric of your community. So from preventative care to advanced surgical solutions, our skilled physicians and caring staff are here for you, offering personalized treatment tailored to your unique needs. You can expect a blend of cutting-edge technology with a commitment to human kindness at their 20 hospitals and 240 clinics and care sites right here in Colorado. Whether it's a routine checkup, managing a chronic condition, responding to an emergency, you can trust Common Spirit to deliver exceptional care close to home. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you. Discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
All right, so Jonathan Cooper, congratulations on winning AFC Defensive Player of the Week. How do you feel about Jaxson Dart?
With him in the pocket, I know you guys kind
Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. He's, feeling himself a little bit. He's out there running around. He's got the chain on. He's dancing. I feel like everybody needs something. So, but we've went against QBs who have ran around in the pocket and have, tried to do stuff with their legs.
Woo! I love it. Shade, shot. How do you describe those comments?
So I'll start with it's very honest.
Yeah, he is dancing. He is wearing chains. He is feeling himself.
We now know exactly what he thinks of Jaxson Dart.
Yep.
Which again, you can't complain about players in particular, players and coaches being honest.
No, not at all.
When we always ask for it, and then they do it, and you're like, "What the hell are you thinking?" Being honest. But yeah, I mean, if I'm Jaxson Dart, I probably don't like hearing it. It does go in that whole. I think Jonathan Cooper would really like to punch Jaxson Dart in the face.
Wow.
And that's I don't. Again, that's just my thought reading that, and I think
I think you're right.
That's probably the entire Broncos defense just wants to go hit those guys.
Yep, exactly. I think you are spot on there. They see, they're like, man, this is a little kid that has no idea what he's walking into on Sunday. He's happy-go-lucky. He's dancing. He's wearing chains. He's way too swaggy for being a 2-1 quarterback in the NFL right now. And
or, according to Crumble Cookies, as Akib said, if Dart did that running BS against us, he'd be in a hospital.
Wow.
I think that's kind of what Coop is getting at there.
And I love this because it puts a little more pressure on the Broncos defense, and that's pressure that I think that they enjoy and they like. Yeah. So I think Coop, I love it. And also, if I'm Jaxson Dart, if you go out,
I'm going to go make a TikTok and get my feelings out.
Yeah. And if you go and beat the Broncos in Denver against this defense, you're on cloud 15 right now. Like you are the truth through 4 weeks at least of your debut. You beat the Chargers, you beat the Eagles, you beat the Broncos being the best of those defenses, but those other two being pretty good defenses too. I think this just raised the stakes for this game. Like with Broncos playing the Giants with Russell Wilson at quarterback, that have all of us fired up for this game. When it's Jaxson Dart, it took a lot of steam off this game. Jonathan Cooper just lit a little flame under this game again. I love it. I'm so pumped. And I love that Jonathan Cooper's doing this because I think this is the guy that he is on the field. He is off the field. Jonathan Cooper is about the sweetest, nicest guy that you can meet. But on the field, I think he's a dog, maybe the most underrated dog on this Broncos entire team. And now he's letting the public see a little bit of him. And I absolutely love it. And by the way, Jonathan Cooper, so unbelievably jacked.
Yes.
Like he's a guy that stands out. He wouldn't be the first off the bus sort of guy because he's not 6'5", but man, he's up there in terms of intimidating.
Absolutely. The Giants just caught magic. Like that's the point that they're at. And it seems like they do that all the time. Like it's kind of like Tommy DeVito all over again. And they'll hope that like this is more sustainable than that was.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
But it just seems like that's what the Giants live off of is like, we have it figured out. We're hot. We're riding with it. I mean, that's both their Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
With Eli Manning, they're wild card teams who just get hot at the right time and
man, that's just in their history.
Exactly. Like that's what they're all about. They found it right now, and it's just about being more physical than them. If the Broncos are more physical than the Giants, again, barring the stupid things that we've seen in the past, they should win this game pretty handily.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Edward in the Twitter chat says, Jaxson Dart's acting like Drew Lock. It's kind of like Drew Lock and Peyton Hillis back there right now with all the swag and vibes in their direction. But when they have to come to Denver, they're going to have the crowd completely against them. Jaxson Dart is going to be in a crazy environment. I think this is going to be a fantastic environment. The Broncos being 4-2, a 3-game win streak, the hottest team tied in the NFL right now. Mile High is going to be bumping. It's going to be a different environment than the ones that they've been in because they played the Eagles at home last week. So they had the crowd on their side. And just make the Giants throw the ball. I think it's going to be a hell of a day. And I think that Jonathan Cooper is going to be proven right about Jaxson Dart.
Yeah. This game tougher or easier than the Cowboys next week?
Oh man,
Because they're so different.
They're the complete opposite.
They are.
Because Dak can throw the ball. The Giants are bad.
yeah.
Dak is good.
Like,
Dak
and with
might
those
be great.
receivers and that line, like they'll put up some points.
George Pickens is his head case hasn't shown up yet.
Right.
So he's actually just the great football player
Yep.
so far. Is CD Lamb back?
I actually don't know.
He might be back for that game right now.
I was getting all the updates because he's on Ryan's fantasy team, and so he wouldn't shut up about it. But I haven't heard. He's still in Scotland, so I couldn't say.
I think I'm more worried about the Cowboys, but it's very, very similar. Like, because the Cowboys defense
Right.
is so unbelievably bad. The Giants front is good in terms of talent. It's really good in terms of talent. They got the big boys in the middle. They've got the pass rushers. Obviously, Brian Burns is third in the NFL in sacks with 7, just 1 behind Nick Bonito. They've got Abdul Carter, who looks like the top 5 pick that he was. And then they got the big boys in the middle. But so far, they haven't played like it. Outside of like the sacks from Brian Burns, they're not a good run defense. They're bottom 10 run defense. They're bottom 10 pass defense. So as someone in the Twitter chat pointed out, Angel, our friend, says Denver Broncos opponent this week is the Denver Broncos. It's exactly who the Broncos opponent was last week. And
Denver Broncos almost won that one.
in the wrong way.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos almost lost that one. So I agree with you, Angel, although the Giants are significantly better than the Jets. So if you do what you did last week, even with how good the Broncos defense was, you're going to lose.
Yeah. And the Cowboys are just tough. I mean, most yards in the NFL, most yards allowed in the NFL. Like
They're fun.
Well, yeah, and I don't know what that means for a Broncos offense. I'm not sure this offense is capable of taking advantage of the league's worst defense the way that it should. Like, I don't think they're a bad offense, but I think that they're probably 10 or 12 offenses that see like, oh, we got the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We're putting 35 points on them.
Yeah,
And the Broncos, they're not there yet. I also think it's a test for the defense. Whereas this week, it's literally just who punches harder.
Yeah, and Cam's going to be punching.
Yes.
But then the Broncos might also have Dre punching. The Broncos are going to have Alex Singleton punching.
Yep.
They're going to have Huff
Yep.
punching big time. And then, of course, all the big boys up front are going to be ready for this. Man. And then on the edge, you also have Jaquan, who is the NFL's all-time leading sacker from an undrafted defensive back.
Yeah, I mean they've got the pieces. Like, it's just, can you be the team that ends like this Giants run that feels like it has to end at some point?
Yeah,
especially in the NFC where there's so many teams with good records. Like,
all
it would take is just like a couple losses and the Giants are out, and then they stumble the rest of the way down. But who knows? Maybe they can stay hot.
Let's get to our game picks, Henry. And before we do that, I want to give a shout out to something that's always hot, and that is our friends over at Taco Bell, where if you have not tried Taco Bell's new Cantina chicken menu, you are in for a treat. Henry, I feel like every week there's a new great item being launched at Taco Bell, and they still have all of their classics and their favorites. And then, in fact, they're going back to the 2K menu, so they're going back 25 years, bringing that stuff back. There are so many things that you can have over at Taco Bell that are absolutely amazing. The Chicken Cantina menu debuts a new flavorful chicken that's slow roasted, perfectly seasoned with Mexican spices. They've also got the Mexican pizza there that our guys Dre and Harrison tried earlier this week. They've got fresh pico de gallo. And one of the awesome things about Taco Bell, you can still get that $7 Buffs box. It's the best value in food out there. It comes with so much delicious food, plus a player Buffs collectible cup. And Taco Bell is a proud sponsor of CU Athletics and will be donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored. Buffs love the Bell, and so do we.
And we also get to give a shout out to our friends over at Toyota. Toyota is the best. Whether you're somebody who hauls things or drives off the road or just needs something really
Drives
reliable.
out there in a good way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or, I mean, if you are driving
in a
out
bad
the road in
way,
a bad way, you'd still probably want a Toyota. If you want to help the environment, they want to help you do that. They have more low and zero emission vehicles than any other automaker. So you've got a bunch of different choices to reduce your carbon footprint. If you're hauling stuff, all new 2025 Tacoma, the Land Cruiser, the 4Runner is another incredible car. There's just so many options. So visit your Front Range Toyota stores, the location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL, the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
And shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Place a $5 bet after depositing $10, and boom, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. Ron Blocker has dropped his Broncos-Giants prediction in the Toyota chat. I want everyone to drop their Broncos-Giants prediction in the Toyota chat. And also, if you're listening later, drop it below. We really appreciate everyone. Hit us with the thumbs up. That helps us a lot. Henry? Oh, we've got Mattson saying, go Grizz, baby.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Go Grizz, Mattson.
Leading you into your pick. What's going to happen?
Geez. So I want to start by saying I had 38-6 last week, I believe.
Yeah. You were only mini points off.
Yeah. So I feel really stupid about that. And this might be an overcorrection. I've got... You know what? No, I can't go 13-11 again. Give me 13-10. We gotta be realistic here.
13-10. Oh boy, please no. Then I'll be like, damn, are we just back in 2016, 2017 sort of
2016 was the last time they were 4-2.
It was, exactly. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna be a little more hopeful. I'm gonna go 20 to 13.
Okay.
I think they're spot on with the spread there. 20 to 13. We've got Carolina saying 21-20. We've got Kyle saying 28-9 Broncos. We've got Omari V saying 26-13. I would assume Broncos. Kyle is saying 21-10. Again, I assume Broncos. Rod said he had 34-6 last week. So, Henry, it's okay. That is our Broncos picks. We both got a Broncos win. I also believe Ryan has a Broncos win. I'm sure Benny has a Broncos win as well, although Benny was on a different podcast, and he was saying how good Jaxson Dart was. So
he was also a Giant, too.
He was also. This is the Benny game. The Benny
Another
Bowl.
Benny. No,
Yeah.
This is the first of our Benny games.
Yes.
Because we haven't seen Bears, Saints, 49ers.
Right. So this is the only Benny Bowl this year.
The only one
right?
this year.
Yeah. Okay, let's go around the AFC West, Henry, and I want to get your predictions for the other games in the AFC West after picking our Broncos game. The other game that we've got in the AFC West, we got two more. We've got the Raiders going into Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Is there an upset here?
I wish that there was. I mean, I can't pick it. I'll be sitting there. I'll be pulling for the Raiders. As terrible as that sounds. I might even sprinkle that money line. Say, you know what? I bet the odds are insane here because the Raiders have no shot at doing this.
I think the spread over at Bet365 is minus 11.5. So I'm sure the money line is plus 500.
Yeah, Raiders may have thrown in the towel, but the Chiefs just aren't. Yeah, the Chiefs are one of those teams I don't think is capable of taking advantage of a bad team. Like I still think they win, but I don't think it's like a.
So you take Raiders
go up
with
in the
points.
first quarter and it's fun. I think I would.
Interesting, but just straight up, you're taking the Chiefs?
Yep.
All right, I'm taking the Chiefs as well. But as you said, as weird as it is to say, go Raiders for this week.
Go Raiders.
That would be a huge loss for the Chiefs right there. And the final game in the division, since those are two divisional teams playing each other, we got the 5-1 Indianapolis Colts going in to SoFi to play the 4-2 Chargers. Who wins?
This is the tough one. Home game for the Chargers. Are there more Colts fans or Chargers games there? Or Chargers fans there? I don't think the Colts is traveling well.
No, I don't either. I guess I'd say Chargers,
It
but by a
probably
slight
is.
margin.
Right. Yeah, that's going to suck to be there. I think...
A lot of blue.
You know what? Give me the Colts. It'll be more fun. I'm going to be cheering for them. Give me the Colts.
I love that. I would take the home team in this one, and the Chargers are the home team. So give me the Chargers. I think this is a coin flip game. And you probably want the Colts to win this game from a Broncos perspective, knock the Chargers down to 4-3. Then they'd be 0-3 in their last 3 games. Is that right? Then they'd be sputtering. They'd be falling, going the wrong direction there. But here's the positive spin. If the Chargers do win, that makes the Colts 5-2. If the Broncos win, they'll be 5-2 along with the Chargers. And if the Steelers lose tonight, And the Broncos will be the number one team, or tied at least for the best record in the AFC, which is just wild. So that's a way to spin it there. Going to be really cool to see how these games play out. The Broncos Giants game is at 2:05 this weekend, the same exact time as the Colts and Chargers. And then before, at that 11 a.m. slot, you get to see the Raiders go against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. All right, let's move on to what else is going to be happening this weekend, Henry. And it's going to be a very, very cool weekend in so many ways. The Super Bowl 50 team is coming back for their 10-year reunion. They are going to be honored all weekend long. But at halftime of the Broncos game, they're going to have a big ceremony. But then the other thing that's just going to be pulling at the heartstrings of Broncos country is Demaryius Thomas is officially going into the Ring of Fame. His parents are going to be there to accept the Ring of Fame coat, the Ring of Fame ring, and then also be there at the unveiling at his Ring of Fame statue. That is going to happen at 10:30. And I believe from the last time they did this, if I remember right, when Peyton got his unveiled, fans can be around this and watch it. That's at 11:30. I would highly recommend, if you want to see this, be close enough, get there really early. 10, if not even earlier than that. That's on the south side of the stadium where all of the bronze, not busts, but statues are. So if you want to see that, that's going to be really cool. And then at halftime of the game, the Broncos will be officially pulling up the banner over DT's Ring of Fame slab on the stadium. That is going to be so, so cool. And it's going to be emotional too.
It is. I mean, there's just so much going on. And I think it's always important to have the current team connect with the team's history. And the Broncos do a good job of that. Whether it's, I mean, bringing guys in from the past to talk to the team, having the alumni around, like understanding why it matters so much. Because I think sometimes in the NFL, there are players in particular who struggle with like the purpose of it. And a lot of it's just like, I'll go get my paycheck and that's what we need. The Broncos rarely have that issue. And part of that's knowing who to give money to and all that. But a lot of it is having the understanding of what the Broncos mean to the city, what the history of the Broncos means to the city, what the history of the Broncos means now, what the current team means to everybody, including all these guys. And I think having everybody from that era 10 years ago back is just really good for the team. And you know that one or two of them are probably talking to the team this week. Sean's going to be talking a whole bunch about it this week. And I think that that's healthy for a team. I think that that can be a thing that pushes a team. And it's one of the reasons I feel so confident about the Broncos this week is I can't imagine you bring the Super Bowl 50 team back and lose.
Yeah, it's a great
we'll
point.
Knock on wood
and be honoring Demaryius Thomas in this game and lose. Yeah, the emotions are going to be in the Broncos' favor big time. We don't have time to get to this clip right now because I want to get to the Cortland and DT clips. But Court said it's going to be fun for this defense to play in front of the Super Bowl 50 defense because there's so many similarities. And we talked about it earlier this week. It's not crazy to say that this Broncos defense could be maybe approaching what that Super Bowl 50 defense is just through 6 games right now. So shout out to everyone that's dropping in, the LLDTs in the Twitter chat. Long live Demaryius Thomas. And let's talk about Demaryius Thomas for this. Well, and because another thing someone says in the Twitter chat, Vaughn should take a personal day to be there for this.
Yep.
Henry, from my understanding, nearly the entire team is going to be there. Now, obviously, we've lost a couple of players, Demaryius Thomas, Ronnie Hillman.
Yep.
Rest in peace to both of them. They won't be there. Vaughn, Brandon McManus, long snapper, and I think there's one other player that's still playing from that team.
Trevor Siemian.
How could I forget my guy?
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Super Bowl 50 champ Trevor Siemian.
Who is
those 4? Is it Corey Brewer?
Was that Casey Kreider? I think Corey Brewer, yeah.
Corey Brewer's playing somewhere. Do you have any idea where?
No.
Shout out to Corey Brewer. Couldn't have done it without
not
you.
The Giants.
That would be something. So they'll be without those 4 guys, DT and Ronnie Hillman. That's 6. And then maybe like
Casey Kreider's the Giants long snapper.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who
Former
not,
Bronco. Yeah. So only like one or two other people aren't going to make the game, I believe, from this team. That is so cool. Broncos are flying everyone out. Going to be so cool and an awesome weekend for all of them. From my understanding, our guy Todd is going to be able to enjoy some of the celebrations as well. Benny, obviously, going to be there as well. It's going to be so cool. And the Broncos in total, because they're also inviting all the coaches, all the staff from that team, over 150 people are going to be there this weekend. They got a big dinner on Saturday night where they officially give Demaryius Thomas and his parents his coat, Ring of Fame coat, Ring of Fame ring as well. So that's going to be cool. But before we get out of here, I want to hear Courtland Sutton talking about Demaryius Thomas and how much he meant. Because remember, those two were together, and Demaryius Thomas was Courtland Sutton's mentor for a couple of years when he got here. And Dion, let's go with the first one. Court stating what Demaryius Thomas means to him.
You guys know DT means the world to me, and I have been waiting for this day of him getting his recognition from this organization because of all the things that he's done for the Broncos organization. You know, I know that this dude loved Denver. He loved Broncos country. He loved, being able to, call this place home for the 8 seasons that he was able to be here. And, the small amount of time that I was able to spend with him was some of the most impactful time that I've had being a Denver Bronco. I know that, if I didn't have the guidance of him and Emmanuel in the room for me as a young rookie, I don't think that I'm able to build, the character and build the player that I became, without that guidance. I think so highly of DT, and I like I said, I can talk all day about him. Even like I said, I didn't get to spend a whole bunch of time with him, but the time I did get to spend with him, he was so impactful that I can sit here and talk all day about just the man he was, beyond the football player, just the man he was. He carried himself in such a way that, you can only aspire to be able to be talked about in the likes that he's talked about just as a person.
And Garrett Bowles also spent time with Demaryius. So there's a couple of actual players on this current team that have connections to him. And you can just tell how much he means to Courtland Sutton. And Courtland shared a really cool story, which I want everyone to be able to hear. So let's hear this story. Court was just asked simply, can you tell us one story about DT and you, or what you remember?
I got this little thing that I do, for some of the guys in the building, and it started off as like a rookie duty that he kind of gave me. He was like, "Hey, I've been doing this, but I'm gonna pass to you. This, you know about the donuts?"
I watched it do it.
All right, yeah. So, as a rookie, he passed the donut tradition down to me, and it was one of those things that, like I said, it felt like it was like a rookie thing. He was like, "Hey, go to this place, call this place, tell them that you're gonna get the, whatever it was at the point in time. They're gonna know exactly what it is. Go pick them up, bring them up here. Everybody's gonna love it." It's all right, cool. And when he left, I was like, I'll keep it going. It was something that I saw that brought a lot of joy to people in the building, and it was like a small tribute to him. And then, when he passed, it felt like it was one of those things that, every Saturday I get a chance to call in and order donuts. It's a small, just little wink, just a. He's always still around, I want him to be able to, I don't even think the guys even know where that came from. I think everybody's just like, "Oh, the donuts are here," and they just get so excited. But they don't really know where that originated from. But it's one of those things that for myself and for the people who got to spend time with him and understand where the donuts came from, it's a reminder to that he gets to still be here. He may not be here physically, but he had such a lasting impact that he's not going anywhere from this organization anytime soon. And like I said, I'm happy that he's been able to get his recognition from this organization, getting inducted into the Ring of Honor.
Too cool. And I know all of Broncos country is thrilled that DT is getting his time. It's a bummer that he won't be able to be there, but it's still going to be such a cool weekend. All right, before we get out of here, let's get to some Super Chats. Henry, any thoughts before we dive into these Super Chats?
I don't think so.
All right, let's get into this first one coming in for Pure Lapine, who says, "Boys, Sean Payton and the Broncos need to kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Stop getting so cutesy with the play calling. Simplify and win.
Sure.
In one way, I agree in terms of like the run blocking. Just choose one and go with that until you can prove that you're good at that. Really quick, we're going to go into overtime. Head to thednvr.com to continue the conversation in overtime and including the rest of this answer. But Pure Lapine, what I will say is, how did the Broncos get their only touchdown last week?
That was Nate Atkins being wide open.
On a little trick play, on a cutesy play.
It was cutesy.
From Sean Payton. So I don't want the specialty cutesy plays to
Only
stop.
be cutesy when it works. That's my
Yeah,
rule.
exactly.
Yeah.
Only make sure that if you're going to be cutesy, make sure it works. But I do think that there are some aspects big time to what you're saying, Pure Lapine, about just simplifying stuff. Don't make things more complicated than they need to be. I completely agree with that because I do think this offense might just be a little overwhelmed right now.
Yeah, they sure seem like it.
Yeah, they do. Mile High Sing says, hey, fellas, I will be attending this game. I can't wait to see the Broncos put a beat down on the Giants. It's going to be a special day with Super Bowl 50 anniversary and DT going into the Ring of Fame. Long live DT. Right on, Mile High. We can't wait to see you, hopefully, as well. Not DePot says, sorry, in the beginning of the show, first, national media is BS. Ain't no way Chiefs are ahead of Chargers and Broncos. Second, there are Broncos fans that are so emotional. Stop. Wow. Let's Broncos fans not be emotional. Third, let's call a spade a spade. All right, it's a spade. Spade. Thank you for the super chat there, Not to Pot. Dusty, who's a member of the Supporters Club, says, flying in from Arizona tomorrow for the game, my first DNVR tailgate. Can't wait to celebrate. Let's go, Dusty. We can't wait to have you there. To celebrate DT, hoping to meet some of y'all. Cheers, long live DT. Again, that ceremony for DT, south side of the stadium, 11:30 a.m. Either come by the tailgate before or after, but it's like a 5-minute walk from the tailgate.
Right. So both.
To that. Yep, exactly. Plenty of time to do both. Foco Buff says, really like the home field advantage this week will be huge. Field like that home field advantage will be huge. DT's presence will be felt in
New York City. It is a home game, though.
But it's in
they will
Denver.
also be feeling it, I guess.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That's a little confused. Going to be a special game for sure. I would take over Demaryius Thomas receiving yards. I'm sorry. Over Cortland Sutton receiving yards this
Okay.
week.
Okay.
Over 88 receiving yards. Or right on 88.
Ooh. I wonder if you could find that.
There's going to be
88
something
exactly.
very cool about this game. Something like that.
Bet 88 exactly.
Yep, exactly. Or Garrett Bowles is going to play 88 snaps or something like that.
Or have 88 penalties.
Oh, geez, hopefully not. They'll lose if that happens.
Probably.
I'll guarantee that one. Rod Blocker says, I'm standing. Oh, Rod has a lot here. We appreciate you, Rod. Let's get to
We
you.
do.
Says, I'm standing on us beating Buffalo in the playoffs. Colts offense is for real, and we held them to 4 field goals and 2 touchdowns in the red zone. With ball hurt, we top dogs.
I like it.
With Baltimore hurt, we're
Yep.
top dogs. I love it, Rod. I absolutely love it. Really, I just don't want to see the Chiefs in Arrowhead or the Bills in Orchard Park.
Yeah.
Weird it's not Buffalo.
Right.
Shout out to the Broncos for making sure we're not calling them the
That would
Centennial
suck.
Broncos. Lone Tree Broncos. No, they're the Denver Broncos, and they're staying in Denver. Rod also says, to me, with the class of the AFC, I don't respect Steelers at all, nor Buffalo. Our offense needs to be more consistent, but we can beat anybody in the AFC. Certainly with the defense, you can say that's feeling good.
Just need to be consistent. Get
Yep.
rid of all those 3 and outs.
Yep, I
It's
agree.
embarrassing.
What do you think about more Pat Bryant in the offense? Is that better than people think? That's coming in from Rod, too.
Yeah. I could go for more Pat Bryant.
I could, too.
There's nothing they're doing now that I'm honestly too attached to on the offensive side.
Well, Rod, they're giving you that. They're giving you more Pat Bryant. I think every single game his snap count has gone up, or at least for the most part it's gone up. I believe he played in 60% of the Broncos' offensive snaps last week, which is really impressive for a rookie. So he is getting his time to shine. And earlier this week, we talked about yesterday, Sean Payton said that R.J. Harvey will be getting more run as the season goes on. So we'll see when that starts. And Rod rounds us out here by saying, I was at the Philly game that propelled our season. Wish I saw you, Zach. but seeing that in person, I'm confident versus anybody. If you guys are ever going to be at a road game, make sure to DM me, either on Instagram, Twitter, and we can hopefully meet up there. So really appreciate everyone tuning in this week. Shout out to Henry, shout out to Dion, shout out to Yahir, and that's going to do it for us this week. Drop your score predictions here so we can see them, and make sure to tune in Sunday. We got a huge game, huge week, huge day of football. Tailgate's going live right around 1:30.
Yep, 1:30 pregame show.
Pregame show.
Watch along for the entire game. I think just me and Benny. Who knows if Ryan's going to be back? I'm sure he'll tell us. And then post-game show with maybe the three of us. Maybe it'll just be me and Benny. We'll find out. It's going to be fun regardless.
Tune in to find out. It's going to be fun. Let's see if the Broncos can go to 5-2, and let's do that together on Sunday. Stay tuned on YouTube, and we will see you then. Enjoy your weekend.
We all silly like the mayor.